Hi, I'm Todd, and I began attending Christian Heritage as an 8th grader and graduated in 1988. During my senior year, I could hardly believe it when I was given the honor of being cast as Tevye in Fiddler on the Roof. You know, one of my very favorite things about CHS, and one of the things I still carry with me today, is the importance of commitment, even when it isn't easy. But being around such a high level of excellence and production at CHS is what really opened up my eyes to the world of production and working with a large group of people. Because I was given that opportunity to learn, grow, and be part of the CHS theater program at such an early point in my life, I was able to establish a career in audio production. And for the past 30 years, I've been able to use my gifts in the local church, spreading the message of Jesus through audio production.
One of my favorite memories of my high school time at Christian Heritage was being a part of the theater productions, to be in a play, to have the opportunity to be on stage and wear different costumes, learn different choreographed movements, make new friends, be able to build a skill that I never knew existed.
Our directors really pushed us to the limit, brought stuff out of us that we didn't really know that we had inside of us. And what ended up happening is I developed a real passion, love, and respect for the performing arts.
It taught me a lot about myself, and it taught me a lot about how my actions and ability to take something seriously affects other people. So I matured a lot through the process of Fiddler on the Roof.
Another beautiful thing about CHS Theater is the friendships, the lifelong friendships that you create. And that really just plays into the fact that CHS Theater really is a family. Even as I go back now and watch some rehearsals after I graduated, I get that same feel, Kids are growing together, learning to love together, praying together, and just creating a beautiful story together that's going to impact lives in the audience, but that's also going to impact each other. You start at auditions and then callbacks and then rehearsals and then performances, and throughout that whole time, you are embarking on a journey of creating a story and entering into that story together, creating a beautiful product together, impacting lives together. And those are probably some of my favorite memories of being involved in CHS Theater, being able to perform and see lives impacted and know that it's not me doing that, it's actually Christ doing it through us.
My passion was actually for behind the scenes, and I became the stage manager. I will forever be grateful to Mrs. Jan and Mrs. Hannibal for allowing me to take on that responsibility and for trusting me with that role. The lessons that I learned about leadership and management are ones that I will continue to use for the rest of my life, and I believe that the CHS Theater program is one of the best parts of CHS.
It was just so much fun. It truly imprinted onto my life. I'm so glad that I was able to encourage my children to be able to be a part of theater productions, either in tech or on stage. And I'm truly just overjoyed in being able to be involved with this year's show as a parent.
I missed the late night rehearsals in March and the excitement building up toward the performances, but the memories that I have from that program are things that will stick with me forever. Truly, it is a place that I really felt like I received glimpses of eternal joy.
You guys, we worked so hard to pull off that very first musical, all the way back in 1987. None of us were exactly sure what we were doing. We weren't sure if we had enough talent, or enough materials, or enough budget, or enough of anything to pull it off. But we were consistently taught to give our very best effort, to be confident in ourselves and the talents God had given us. And that at the end of the day, when we had done absolutely everything we could do in our own strength, to trust in the Lord with all our hearts. I still think of those lessons I learned at CHS, and I couldn't be more grateful for the incredible influence they've had throughout my life.
The experience just completely blew me away and just taught me so much about that, what a great collaboration working on a musical is, and that you have people of all different talents coming together in the arts to make something truly spectacular, and the community that's built as a result of that is something that you never forget. You'll always look back with fondness. And I've always wanted to come back, even after I graduated, I wanted to come back and contribute in the best way that I can, which is through scenic art. So I've had the opportunity to come back and do scenic painting each year since I graduated. If you're in high school and you're thinking of being in a show, I would absolutely encourage it, because the friendships that are formed, the things that you learn, you will take those things, they will have an impact on the rest of your life, and you'll look back with such great fondness of what you were involved in and the thing that you helped create that can be remembered for generations to come.
So I was in Fiddler on the Roof back in 2007. We did Seussical the Musical and Peter Pan. And so having Fiddler on the Roof sandwiched in there was really a fun challenge for a lot of us to take on roles that were different than what we were used to, that were more serious. And we also just were really intentional to honor the customs and the history of Jewish tradition.
Hi everybody, I just wanted to share a little bit about my experience with the theater department at CHS. I have to say the best part about it most definitely was Mrs. Hannibal and Mrs. Dan. All of the rehearsals, singing and practicing the blocking and getting our costumes fitted. I mean, really some of the best memories I have from high school.